Hello there, and welcome back to the Chap's Guide, the channel where we talk about men's style, self-development and personal grooming. And welcome back to another fragrance review. So as you know, I'm a very sensory guy, and I believe that fragrance adds a great deal of nuance to any gentleman's overall style package. And over the years, I've enjoyed many fragrances and I've tried many fragrances, but the king of the men's fragrance pile at the moment probably is Creed. That's sort of one of the oldest fragrance houses, an Anglo-French business, started off in England many years ago and is now based over in France. And when somebody talks about high-end fragrance, they immediately think of Creed and its many very expensive creations. Now for me, I'm not in the fragrance category that I can afford to avail myself of Creed colognes, because they are quite simply far too rich for my blood. You know, I couldn't conceive of spending £250 for a fragrance, which is kind of what they sit at in the market today. Some more, some less, admittedly, but £250 seems to be where you can access these things. So my experience of Creed has been, to be honest, at the fragrance counter in my local high-end department store called John Lewis, not too far away from where I live. And every time I visit that shopping mall, I will, drop into the fragrance counter, and, amazingly, they have all of the Creed range out on display, and you can help yourself to the various fragrances. And over the years, I've narrowed down the ones which I really like, and eventually, I've gone through the big greats, like Aventus and things like that. But my favourite is Green Irish Tweed, which of course has been around in the Creed portfolio since I believe it was 1985 that it was released. And it's been a firm favourite within the Creed portfolio ever since, favoured by celebrities, and again, in its very expensive bracket, £250 will buy you 100 millilitres, so expensive stuff in the extreme, but it has got a certain sort of pizzazz. So it's somewhat disheartening to know that I can't afford this stuff. This Green Irish Tweed, designed or inspired by a walk in the Irish countryside, and it is a very classic fougere fragrance, a fresh, ferny fragrance, which when I've tried it on over the years, it's really pushed my buttons. It's definitely one of my favourite fragrances, but somewhat outside of my price bracket. However, I thought I would give a go at a cologne. Now, I've never been a colognes guy before. I don't like buying replicas of anything generally, wristwatches, clothes. Doesn't work for me. I like the original, or I rather something else, but not a replica. But when it comes to fragrance, I understand that these are, it's not a replica, it's not a homage, it's something which has been inspired by that original fragrance. So I thought I'd give it a go, and I've given a go to one of the more popular Green Irish Tweed replicas, if I call it that, and that is Tres Nuit by Armaf. Or Armf, however you like to pronounce it, and it's a fragrance house which is synonymous with the replication of other more famous and more prestigious brands. So I thought I'd give it a go. Modestly priced, we'll come to that in a moment, and here it is, Tres Nuit. Not bad in reality, and I'm going to break it down, tell you what I think about it. So Tres Nuit, as you can see, comes in this rather interesting bottle, which is trimmed with leatherette, with a metal plaque on the side, which makes it interesting on the eye. But it's all in the fragrance, and let's give it a go. So, off we go. And just to give you a sample, this is, hang on, quite a nice vaporizer, it's fair to say, an atomizer. So let's give it a go on the wrist, a couple of squirts on the wrist, and immediately, I have to say, not being a cologne connoisseur, but immediately, there is an overwhelming sense of Green Irish Tweed. Its opening is extremely Green Irish Tweed, Creed. This is a very, very good replica, and I've been wearing this for about a month now. I've given it a good wearing in over all sorts of different events, different times of the day, evening and so on, and those notes are very very strikingly similar to Creed's Green Irish Tweed. So what does it smell like? Well, immediately upon spraying, the head notes are lemon verbena, and some iris, so very similar to the original. Very similar. And when you get down into the mid notes, you will find that there is lavender and violet, so quite floral. And then as it cooks off, eventually you're left with the base notes, which are essentially ambergris and sandalwood. So very reminiscent to the original Creed Irish Tweed. Of course, the difference will be, and nobody's saying that this is identical to it, but in the Green Irish Tweed, the Creed, you will find that those fragrances will be created via, original expensive oils and elixirs, which have been sourced at their finest places in the world and give you that fragrance. When you're buying a cologne, you know that these are probably synthetically created oils which are giving you the fragrance, but in all reality, truth is, this is a very similar fragrance. If anything, I would say that it lacks a certain element of the sharpness which you get from the Green Irish Tweed, but do you know what? It's 90% there. It is 90% there. So where would I wear this? What's the situation? What are my thoughts about the specifics? Well, I would say, when would I wear it? Seasonally? I would say this is a warm weather fragrance, very much as I would describe the Green Irish Tweed by Creed. It's something I would wear in the spring and the summer. It's got that, being a fougere, it's got that freshness to it. So I would definitely wear it at that time. Would I wear this for, what time of day would I wear it? Well, basically, I would say a daytime fragrance. It's not something which I think has a certain brutality or a punch which you would wear in an evening. It's definitely, its freshness lends itself well to the daytime, I think. So very much a day fragrance, and that's kind of my interpretation of it. Maybe different for everybody, but it's up to you. Is it an occasional fragrance? For a special occasion, for a special event that you might want to wear to boost your confidence? I would say maybe. It depends on your take on this type of fragrance. It's kind of something which I think you either like or loathe, but for me, I think I would wear it for special events because it's got enough of a presence that it would make me feel special if I was going to a special occasion wearing this fragrance. But everybody is different, of course. Masculinity, is it particularly masculine? I would say it's moderately so. It's not brutal, it's not overbearing. This isn't a powerhouse fragrance. This is not a fragrance that the alpha male is going to be beating a path to because, he wants something which is going to be an overpowering fragrance that he wants to beat down his subordinates in a room with. Doesn't do that. It's not that sort of fragrance, but it's masculine for sure. What else can I tell you? What's its protection and its radiation? Well, in this form, I don't think it has the punch that the original Creed Green Irish Tweed has, but it's not bad. You know what? It's not bad. It lends itself, when you're in the presence of somebody, I think they will discover the fragrance pretty quickly. It's not something which is pushing out, assaulting the nostrils. This is there to be discovered. I think if you entered a room and walked out of the room pretty quickly and somebody walked in after you, they would detect this fragrance and find it pleasing. So that's, as far as radiation and projection and wake, on the pleasant side. It's not overwhelming. It's on a sliding scale, definitely on a medium, I would say. The same would go for the longevity. I don't think this lasts as long on the skin as Green Irish Tweed, the original, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I think you'll get a good few hours out of this. I have heard reviews of other people who will say that this doesn't have good longevity. It's only good for an hour or so. But for me, I put it on this morning after I had a shave and I can still detect it on my skin now, some 5-6 hours afterwards. And the likelihood is it'll do the same for you, depending on the circumstances you find yourself in, clearly. But yeah, it's got the longevity. Not great, not the best, but pretty damn good. What else can I tell you? What comments have I elicited when I've been wearing this? Very positive. My wife, my son, very much like it. I've got a 10-year-old son, and he's got a great habit of helping himself to my fragrances in my fragrance drawer, and he likes to wear some nice smellies to school, and he really likes this one. In fact, you know, my journey of Creed has been at the fragrance counter in my local department store, and my little boy likes to come with me when we visit that counter, and his favourite is definitely Green Irish Tweed. And I have to say, whenever we go there, he probably ends up walking out of that department store with about £10 worth of the original Creed on his skin. So he likes it for sure, and I think most people will find this a pleasing, enjoyable, fresh smelling fougere fragrance. So what's it look like? What's the packaging like? Well, the packaging is interesting. It comes in a box which has got like a velour exterior. Quite pleasing, you know, it mirrors very much the bottle. It has, you know, you can see that faux leather band going around the box, just in representation form with that plaque. And of course, when we look at the bottle itself, that's exactly what is represented on the bottle. This faux leather strap running around the bottle, which has got obviously some chrome accents, a metal plaque which is contained within that leatherette strap, telling you that its name is Tres Nuit, and it is Pohom. It's an eau de toilette, which tells us, we're told underneath, where there is writing embossed within that faux leather material. As I've showed you already, the atomizer is good, gives a good spread, and yeah, it's an interesting bottle. Do you know what? Considering the price, which I'll come to in a moment, this is quite an interesting delivery to us. You know, it's got a lot going on, 100 millilitres, and yeah, it's different. Ever so slightly tacky, but it's different. So not bad. The price, the value, well, that's important. This doesn't cost £250 a bottle. This costs under £20. I bought this from Amazon the other day, or a month or so ago, you know, 1 day delivery, and it's sub 20 quid. And for that price, I tell you what, forget that this is a Green Irish Tweed clone. Totally discount that. This is a really nice smelling men's eau de toilette, which you can wear on a nice day, on a day where you want to lift your spirits. It's got a lovely, fresh, ferny, outdoorsy smell to it. Exactly. Do you know what? This is the perfect place to be reviewing this Tres Nuit by Armaf, because it absolutely fits the bill for the outdoors. You know, the original Green Irish Tweed is meant to have a hint of cut grass about it, and that slightly sharpness of that fragrance. It lacks some of that, but tell you what, it's 90% there. And for £20, this is a hole-in-one. I think if you like Creed, Green Irish Tweed, this could easily be mistaken for it. You know, there's no doubt about that. So a pretty good buy for a modest amount of money. Highly recommended by me, but then again, I really enjoy the original, and I think this is a really good homage to that original. So there we go. Why not give it a try? For 20 quid, what have you got to lose? If you don't like it, give it as a gift to a friend or a relative. So, I hope you have enjoyed this video today on Tres Nuit, which is a Green Irish Tweed homage from the great fragrance house of Creed. Very accessible financially, very, very close replica, worth giving a try. If you have enjoyed the video, it would delight me if you would give us a thumbs up, just to let us know that you've enjoyed it, and why not consider subscribing to our channel as well. That way you won't miss any of our future material, and leave me a comment in the comment section below. I would be delighted to hear from you. So until the next time we meet, smelling good, looking sharp, take care of yourselves, look after yourselves and your families, and I will see you again back here very soon.